Okay, pretty much experts. Halloween month continues. I'm Robert John Patterson in Romania. This is my brother Mike.
Hello.
And my other brother Skylar.
Hey everybody.
We are brought to you by the Frontline Fiesta, a wonderful punk band from Toronto that supplies us with our beautiful theme music. And we're going to take a moment to ask you to like, subscribe, and comment and whatever the hell on YouTube and Facebook and Stitcher, Google, iTunes, whatever.
Yeah, check us out.
Check us out on all those things.
Are we on Twitter? Don't say Twitter. I don't think we're on it.
I have a Twitter, and I post about our podcast on Twitter all the time, but there's not an official, feed.
Get at
Your
RJ.
opinion doesn't represent the show.
It does. Because
On
it's our
Twitter.
only voice on Twitter. And every now and then, like, I get, like, retweeted by, like, Canadian podcasts to check out. And I'm just like,
wow.
really?
Wow.
Some random blog is checking us out and recommending it.
Wow, straight to my head. Why would you tell us me that right at the start of this episode?
You guys should get on
making the boy nervous.
Twitter and interact with me and our other fans.
Yeah. Someday.
It's
You
like...
gotta keep them waiting.
I am hit and miss on Twitter. Like, sometimes I feel like it's just like an echo chamber. Like, it's just people talking and no one answering. Like, you're just like tweeting and then like you get no answers. And it's like, okay, so Twitter's just everyone just like in a big like gymnasium screaming to look at them. And you don't really get any answers. But I messaged you two last night because I do this other like YouTube show, VHS Reanimated, and I recommend old horror movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and the like star from one of the movies I recommended like started following me and like retweeting my stuff and saying how funny the review was.
Nice.
And it's like, okay, so like Twitter does, reach the right person eventually.
Wow.
It can, yeah.
Yeah, and I like never tagged her in the movie or in the review or anything. Mm-hmm. Like, someone else must have, like, DM'd her to, like, check this out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And, like, in my review, I talk about, like, how much of a crush I have on this lady. Mm-hmm. And then it's, like, pretty sweet for her to, like, retweet it and say, like, oh, it's so funny, check this out. And it's like, what?
No, that's wicked.
Yeah.
Like, also, before we get too far into this, Rue, is your bedroom gonna catch on fire there? Like,
Aurora Borealis.
Pretty close to that candle.
You tell me when it goes up.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll keep an eye on it. I will.
It's pretty far, but
Oh, is it? Okay, in the video, it looks like it's like currently burning.
No, it's good.
Wow, the back of your neck is clean.
Yeah, you got cleaned up, bud.
You were talking about getting a haircut today. I didn't know you were going to go military style back there.
Yeah, looking sharp.
Oh yeah.
Someone give this man a job.
Yeah.
It's a no look.
Was that a selfie haircut, or did you get the roommate to do it?
Oh, I did it myself.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah, I don't fuck around.
Yeah, I always cut my own
skills,
hair, and
boy.
it always amazes people.
I've never in my entire life paid for a haircut. Not
Never.
With my own
You're
money,
a friggin'
ever,
sucker if you
ever,
pay for a
ever.
haircut.
Just
Yeah.
I'd
See
taught
friends,
myself to cut my own
girlfriends,
hair.
myself. Yeah.
When I was in Ireland in February, like right before I left, I was saying to my roommate, like, I'm going to go get a haircut today. And he's like, right, mate. And then I was like, because like I haven't been in an English-speaking country in like 4 months. And after I leave here tomorrow, like I don't know when that will ever happen again. So I should do it while it's possible. And then as soon as I sat in the chair and started getting a haircut, I felt so much regret. I'm like, why am I paying for this? Like, this guy does the exact same fucking thing I do. And I have to give him like $30.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. Like, never again.
Yeah. I was gonna pay before a friend's wedding. I was gonna go get like a nice fucking haircut.
A nice
but
Caesar?
Then I just cut. Yeah. But then I just cut it myself and was like, worst case, maybe I'll let it grow out a couple weeks, get him to clean it up. But I cut it so good that time. I was like, well, I'm not paying anyone to fucking do this ever. And I got it down, right? Like I can cut my hair in 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
And it's good for 3 months, 2 months.
I just sit on the toilet, like, and I would come the wolf style, like bent over, and just go by feel and shave the sides and the top. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so-
No, I
Yeah.
get like completely.
I don't even
naked,
use the
put
mirror.
on music, and I got 2 different mirrors that I can
Light your
and one of the
candles?
mirrors.
I can see by
one
the
of
back of your
mirrors-
head that the mirror job is good.
Yeah,
It's working,
the mirror
yeah.
fucking it opens up and I can use it, and it's just
Oh.
like
I never shave my
Same.
neck.
you know.
I just buzz it. Like I never.
Oh,
get
you
down
gotta
to
shave
it.
the neck. The neck is
Yeah.
that's where you know
That's the
that's a
forbidden
deal.
zone.
It's a deal breaker.
Yeah. So you got
Girl
two mirrors.
puts,
Is
girl
is
puts
one,
their hand behind your head and just like the hair starts here and just keeps
Ooh.
go. Ooh, yeah. It starts in the
Ooh, yeah.
beard and just goes all the way.
I'm getting turned
need-
on.
Yeah, it's like a forest.
So you're saying you use 2 mirrors. Is one of them like is it a taint mirror? Like you got a lower
Lower
mirror?
mirror.
Well, I guess that I got like 4 mirrors.
4
Two
mirrors. Okay.
Yeah.
2
pocket
at the
mirrors for
bottom,
the
2 at the
taint.
top.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a nice intimate one, and then I also have a big one.
Intimate one. Wow.
Yeah.
You should sell mirrors. got-
it's
you got the
happening.
lingo.
You just wait.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Getting
I
into
want
the
to feel the
taint
back of my
mirror
head
industry.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
it's
I got to clean up. But
Yeah, the back of my neck's a disaster. I definitely need to
Yeah.
start using a
what
mirror.
is going on back there? I might have a mullet starting. Jesus
Yeah, I have a
Christ.
mullet starting. Yeah.
Wow.
Come on.
But it's not just like the hair on
Sharpen up.
the back of my head long, it's like the neck hair.
Yeah,
And
my neck
I
hair.
can't see it, but
goes
I
in
know
my
that they're just
shirt.
long blonde neck hairs.
The horror.
Oh no.
Like I could comb these fuckers for sure.
I might be getting a complex.
Yeah,
I
neck
might have
hair
started a complex. I'm
hair
gonna have to check my
syndrome.
neck.
All right, so this week on
Yeah.
the on the podcast,
Before you do that, before you get into it, when we were talking about Twitter, I was gonna say I had Twitter once years ago, and
Yeah.
it was just to see nude pictures of
Okay.
women that only posted them on Twitter, and
Yeah.
that's what I
Wow.
did. It
There's
wasn't
lots-
my
it's
name.
like
I don't
a-
even know. I don't even know what email I used. I haven't used it for years, but it was just like, oh, we post nudes on Twitter. Okay, well, I better get a Twitter then.
Yeah, lots
Anyways.
of like porn stars and stuff use Twitter, and there's no like Instagram censorship. Like anything goes.
really, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to fill
Yeah,
your
check it out.
feed with like inspiration, go for it.
Well,
I started
well,
Twitter
that's the
to
end of
just
this
like
week's episode.
we're just going to abandon this week's topic and talk about
gonna
Twitter.
go get my Twitter account.
I started it just
Yeah.
as like to like live tweet professional wrestling and just see
Yeah.
how many wrestlers I could get banned from or blocked from by like criticizing them constantly. And then my like Twitter is like exploded. Like I just got like thousands of followers. Like I think I had like 5,000 followers or something from just like talking shit on wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then like even this week, like throwback to the Attitude Era, like fucking Sean Stasiak like started following me, and I'm just like looking at him like, Sean Stasiak, like get out of here, buddy. I'm not following you back. Garbage 90s wrestler.
No thanks.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I never even heard of that guy.
No, I
They called him like
dude,
meat.
wasn't he meat?
Yeah,
Meat? Yeah, he was meat. Yeah.
Like get out of here, buddy.
Destined for world championship
Yeah.
status. with
If
a
you were
name
like
that.
median or
Like
someone like
meat.
that, I'd follow you back. But you're fucking meat. Get out of here. Meat eater
Do they
after.
got turkey in fucking Romania? Like, is that a thing? Or turkey's
don't-
universe?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're like a North American deal, no?
Are the universe?
I don't think they're universe. I think that's why it's such a big deal for like
But,
Native
well,
Americans and
we
Thanksgiving.
fucking talk like white girl slang, but like also professor. You know, I don't believe it was a universe. No, I don't think everyone knew about it.
No, I don't think they're universe.
We had this guy in town. He's a friend of mine, like a loose friend, and he bought a property a couple years ago, and his plan was to just get a bunch of turkeys on there and eventually have like a wild turkey kind of area, or
Yeah.
like part of his like 100 acres would be, you know, whatever, free for all these turkeys. But so he got some turkeys and he raised them up, tried to set them loose, but they just kept hanging around his house and hanging around his deck. And so
Yeah.
they just feed him off the deck. So these wild turkeys that were supposed to be like, they're supposed to be like annual turkey shoot kind of thing, right? Like we have these wild turkeys, get a bunch of people over, we'll spend a day, go for a turkey shoot. Everyone has their Christmas bird, right?
Yeah.
But they all just turned into dumb, fucking fat, slow turkeys that just hung around the house.
Yeah.
That he still feeds off his deck. So that backfired quick on him.
Turkeys are pretty dumb. I was in Mexico like 2 years ago for Christmas in like some Mayan village. And I was still vegan then, so I didn't eat it. But there was this huge turkey like hanging out in the village. Like it was the size of a wheelbarrow. Like it's gigantic.
Wow.
And it's so ugly. Like turkeys are disgusting.
Yeah, and they
Like
stink too.
and it was so loud and like aggressive. Like it would always just like whip all its feathers out like a peacock kind of thing. Like and get aggressive with the kids and shit. And it's like, fuck this turkey. And then like someone like wised me up. It's like, oh, that's dinner, tomorrow.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, it doesn't just like run away. And they're like, no, we like feed it, and we've been feeding it every day for months. That's why it's gigantic.
Yeah.
And like tomorrow
Wow.
it's going down.
Wow.
It was cool, and they like killed it,
whole
and the way
town
they like
eats.
they cooked it by like digging a big hole and like setting a fire in the hole, and then like throwing all this wood on the fire, and then putting the turkey on the wood, and then burying it with sand.
Burying it?
And they just buried
Yeah.
it. And it was like a earth
Yeah.
oven.
Totally.
Super
They do that
fucking-
with pigs pretty often.
So
too.
cool.
What the?
And
What?
then he like
and the fire just okay.
yeah, just like
How long do they leave it underground for?
like a day, like 20 hours.
Yeah, it could
and the
be
worms
like
didn't get it.
No, because it's on
no.
fire. But then you dig it up, and it's
It's on
like
fire.
smoked golden perfect.
Oh, it's
Just wash all the
beautiful, I bet.
dirt off.
Finger licking good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I didn't have any. I just
But
had like
that's pretty commonplace for barbecuing pigs. Is they'll dig a pit,
yeah,
light it up, get the pig in there, and then cover it and let it sit for 8 hours.
yeah,
Let it slow cook underground for 8 hours, just smolder.
yeah. Super
Delicious.
cool.
hmm
Magnifica.
Yeah, some friends got married this year. That wasn't an underground pit, but I had some friends get married this year, and the Sunday of the it was a whole weekend event, and we had a big pig roast on the Sunday or the Monday, whatever it was. But it was
Yeah.
world class.
See, I went to a bachelor party not too long ago, and we had a pig brought to us in a box from
Oh, yeah.
Toronto. Yeah, and it like
Already smoked and cooked.
already smoked, good to go. Come out
Yeah.
the box, eat it. Yeah, it was delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they do. That's how we do
Like-
it in the GTA.
Like head and all.
Oh, head. Yeah, it was just
Everything.
missing the apple.
Oh
Oh
man.
yeah. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Like
I didn't
they
know you
should,
could
like,
order a pig like that.
Oh, like in a box. Like it was
Huh.
just a little guy.
Like a
Piglet.
dripping box, like a little drippy box,
Like a wet
or
box.
No, like it
Wet
was
box?
all like cooked, sealed in. Like when you when
Wow.
you cut it open, it dripped.
Oh,
The juices.
yeah.
But,
Ooh. I'm hungry
yeah,
now.
it was good. But yeah, we didn't bury. I don't know if they buried it. They probably just
They
cooked
definitely
it.
buried it. Yeah.
Yeah. In the
definitely.
GTA, they got a bury
Yeah.
pit in the
Guys are
backyard
making
of their
me-
fucking.
Hungry.
An old sewer drain.
I'm gonna have to after this episode go out onto the streets and look for some pig.
Yep.
There's got to be a
Turkey
place that
pig.
Dirt pig.
there's got to be a place that sells pig around here.
Oh, for sure there
Oh,
is.
fuck.
I don't know the word for
So-
like pig in Romanian though, so
Google it.
Google it. Google Translate.
Yeah.
probably
Just
the
play
same
the
as
audio
English.
button at them.
Yeah.
You know? Just
Pig.
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 Oink oink.
Point at them.
Do this
point
with
at
your
the
nose.
phone.
Yeah. Pig.
You pig.
Pig. Yeah.
Maybe rub your tummy.
Rub your tummy.
Yeah.
Show him my hoof foot.
Wow.
So what's this week about?
Yeah.
Any
But
fucking
me-
listeners that have stuck
Like,
with us.
Yeah, yeah. If you're still listening, this is we're gonna
Halloween.
talk about horror movies.
This is like on topic kind of. We're talking about horror movies and like killing people and killing animals.
Eating
Killing
meat.
animals, the real horrors of real life. Number 5 on my list.
Yeah, so
Real life.
we were thinking of like October's
Honorable
the like month to like watch a bunch of horror movies. Like, what are you guys watching? this all just started in our group chat, and then it's like, oh, this is an episode. So the three of us are gonna do like 5 picks each of movies that we need to watch or movies we like to watch every October, and we're gonna run down the list, and hopefully we don't have too many duplicates. And yeah, I guess we'll just like recommend a movie, like why we like it or why we watch it or whatever. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm just distracted
Hopefully,
by Skylar's
all...
clean neckline. Every time he turns his head.
Oh, fuck you guys.
If that haircut showed up in a box, I'd eat it. I would.
Yeah. Count Chocula.
Box it up.
Yeah, no, hopefully if y'all are listening and like need some movies to watch through the holiday season, I know me and my roommate enjoy watching. We watch nothing but horror movies in the month of October. Yeah.
It's like the only, like, I realized in like trying to make this list and just a little bit of conversation we had, like I'm not a big horror movie guy. Like I like them and I'll watch them, but it's the 1 month a year that like I find myself interested in. Like the other 11 months, like I don't really care. Like I don't gravitate towards horror movies. More comedies than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not in my wheelhouse most of the year.
Like I say, like most of the year, like sometimes there's just that weird little, like, you need to watch a horror movie, and we'll sit down and we'll watch a good horror movie. But usually, in October, we save them all up, and then we just crush them all. Like God sorted out.
10 a day.
Not 10 a day. We're not fucking. We got things to do. I'm an adult.
Quit your jobs every October.
Yeah. Calling in sick.
Yeah.
Gotta watch fucking Friday the 13th 8.
Ooh. Is that your list? Is that the start of the list?
Better not be.
Friday the 13th Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's these candles are dripping all over the dresser behind me. There's so much fucking wax. It's all over. Oh, it's everywhere.
Worry about it in November.
Worry about it when the roommate finds it. Until then, it's no one's problem.
No.
Yeah. Just watch that sheet. Really. Seriously, watch that sheet.
It's all her clothes, though. Oh God, it's done. It's gone.
You're gonna burn your house
whatever.
down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to embrace that shit now.
I'll start it off because your your joke answer was close. I'm putting Friday the 13th Part 7 on my list.
Oh.
Part 7 is the one where Jason fights the psychic. It's kind of like a Carrie Jason hybrid movie.
Yeah.
So it like starts off, Jason's in the bottom of a lake because he got an anchor tied around his neck in the end of Part 6. So he's just like off, like 6 feet away from the end of the dock, like just chained to the bottom. Yeah. And then this like psychic chick that's kind of like Carrie has like a psychic freak out, and it breaks the chain, I guess, and Jason escapes. And then he's like full zombie mode by this one. He's like a walking corpse. Like you can see his ribs and shit. And he's killing everybody, but she can like fight back and like make knives and stuff fly across the room and stab him. And it's definitely the most. So
this is
crazy.
Number 5 on your list. You're telling people that they should go watch this fucking shitty movie.
Yeah,
really? Like,
it's awesome.
Oh my God! Okay, go on.
Because like in all the other ones,
should we go around the horn? Like
yeah, we're gonna go around the horn.
Do 5s?
It's just kind of like the other ones, like Jason creeps around and kills people, and no one even knows that he's there until the very end. But this one, like, she fights back a bunch, and since he's like full zombie mode, like he takes a ton of damage. It's great.
Yeah, because he's undead.
He's undead, and she is Carrie, and just like, throws him around the room, and I don't know. It's underrated.
Covered in pig's
Jason
blood.
Part 7.
Part 7.
Part 7.
Haven't seen
Jesus
it.
Christ. I'm gonna throw my list away. Apparently, this is where we're going. I don't know.
You guys are gonna hate my
I
list.
feel like Mike's.
I'll go. You know what? Like here's where I.
This
went.
is Part 5. Like they
5.
get better, but I think 7's worth watching.
Okay.
Okay.
Waste your time if you want. Number 5. I went with Scream.
Scream. Okay.
I thought Scream was a movie that changed the game as it came to horror movies in my day. Like it was like mid to late 90s when Scream came out.
Yeah.
And it
That
was
sounds
just
right.
that movie that like it every movie after that came out that was like here's a group of friends and
Yeah.
they're all getting murdered and one of them is the killer.
Yeah.
That you don't know till the end. It was one of those like
Who done
it wasn't just a random
Yeah.
crazy Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. It was somebody that you knew, and it was kind of like a mock movie, like not like scary movie, but like they did kind of mock the horror genre while that movie progressed. But
Yeah, because I mean that format, like it's not totally foreign prior to Scream. Like the whole group of friends, but the whole group of friends with someone in the group being the murderer.
That was definitely
It is a
Scream.
nice twist. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, exactly right. Like usually it's the monster, the big bad, the antagonist protagonist of the movie is the star, and he's picking them off one by one. But this was more just like a whodunit. The combination of the slasher flick and the whodunit.
Murder mystery.
I remember
Murder
like
mystery,
a few
yeah.
months after Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer came out.
Yeah.
And like I went to go see that, and I was like really into it. And then the big reveal in the end is that the killer is exactly who it's supposed to be, like the guy in the beginning that hit by the car.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed because it's like, wait, no, it's not like one of the friends. Like Scream had already like changed the genre. That there was like urban legend and a bunch of other movies came out where it's like someone in the friend group is the killer.
Valentine.
Yeah, and then it's like, I Know What You Did Last Summer is like, they didn't get the memo, and it's like, oh wait, the killer is actually just like a psychopath killer? Like, this movie fucking sucks.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah,
to
there's
this
no,
murder?
there's no fucking twist at the end. Like, it's actually
Yes.
just the guy they ran over? Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, fuck
Get
this
over
movie.
it.
Well,
I
my
have
number-
two
my
Scream
number
stories
5
real quick,
oh.
though, before we get to Mike's
Yeah, no.
fucking terrible
Yeah.
suggestion.
Yeah.
I remember, like, we saw
They will
Scream, like, mid-90s, and, like, we were already, like, me and Skylar and he were, like, big on horror movies. We rented horror movies all the time. But that movie had, like, this, like, built-in, like, trivia aspect where they're always asking each other about movies. And I think that was the movie that really started me on, like, the horror nerd thing. Like, it wasn't just about watching movies. It was like, who can remember the most facts or whatever. Like, I don't know. How old were we? Like, 11 or something?
Yeah.
You know, like, that movie really started the, like, oh, and you remember, like, facts. And, like, that's, like, a cool guy in the movie is, like, the guy that works at the VHS store.
Yeah.
And I remember one throwaway line. They're talking about The Howling. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's the movie with E.T.'s mom in it. And I remember being a kid and being like, I've seen The Howling. Like, there's no aliens in that movie. Like, E.T.'s mom is not in the fucking... Like, and I was so confused.
Just the actress or whatever?
Yeah, and then I saw The Howling recently, like, in the last year. And it's like, oh, the mom from E.T. is, like, in The Howling. But when I was, like, a kid, I was like, E.T.'s mom is in it? Like, what? Like, there's a spaceship or something? Like, I was so lost.
Wow.
And it's like, I've seen The Howling. There's no aliens. And then, I just saw it, like, this year. And it's like, oh, that's the actress that plays, like, Elliot's mom, not fucking E.T.'s mom.
Oh,
But it was, like,
honorable mention.
a big, like,
Go watch The
reveal.
Howling.
Like, friggin' 20 years later, like, that joke finally made sense to me. And the other thing I wanted to mention, when we saw me and Skylar Scream 3 in the theater, like 2 days before that, we were like fucking around in the winter time, like jumping off sheds and shit, and I broke my arm. And we told my mom, like, I broke my arm, and she's like, no, your arm's fine. Like, shut up about it. Suck it up. And I went all weekend with just like a broken arm, and then we on like Sunday we went as a family to go see Scream 3. And I was so much pain through the whole movie that I don't really remember it. I don't think I've seen it to this day. But I just remember being in the theater and like getting like a nice cold glass of Sprite and just like putting it on my arm and making it feel better.
Yeah.
And then after the movie, I'm like, I think we should really go to the hospital. Like my arm is fucked. And then
it was probably the same year Dad broke his leg, and that was more pressing, right?
It was probably about the same year.
Same year, yeah.
But then we go to the hospital, and my arm is broken, and my mom like started crying in the emergency room because all weekend I'd been saying my arm is broken, and she's like, "No, you're fine." And she just kind of went to shut me up, and it was like, "Oh yeah, his arm's broken."
Your shenanigans.
Yeah, that shit's broken.
Yeah.
So anyway,
breaks his arm every
number
week.
5.
My number 5 is that movie 28 Days Later.
Okay.
And the reason I liked that movie when it came out, I haven't seen it for a lot of years, and like I said, I don't really watch horror movies on a
Because you see that
regular
dude's
basis.
dick in the very beginning.
Hey,
you see the dick in the beginning. Is that why?
Yeah, you see the dick. I don't even remember, but yeah,
yeah.
I mean, somewhere in the back, I don't remember that at all.
I know why you liked it.
What's that dude's name? Cillian Murphy. Where he's like,
I don't know.
He's like laying naked in the hospital bed in the beginning.
But the reason I like that movie when it
28 days.
Yeah, that first boner too. I haven't got a boner for 28 days. Ooh.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. It would hurt. It would hurt. Yeah, but I liked it because the zombies were fast and aggressive.
They're runners.
Yeah.
And like
also
that,
a game changer.
Game Changer made the movie so fucking intense. You know, when like they were in the scenes, like it wasn't like the scariest movie, you know, that I had seen at the time, but it was thrilling, and I liked how the zombies were fucking fast and aggressive, and it was like holy shit.
Yeah, I remember there was the really cool scene in that where not only were the zombies fast and aggressive, but the virus was fast and aggressive, and
totally
the one father. There was a dead body on top of a shed or something, and he looks up and gets the shit in his eye, and like he knows what just happened, and like,
he's fucked.
Fuck, like I'm done. Like
get away from me,
guard.
Run,
get away from me, but come closer because I'm hungry.
Yeah,
you know. But that was a good one. Never saw any of the sequels. 28 months later, it was like
I
don't care anymore.
I had the graphic novel. I think there was 2 graphic novels, like 28 weeks later, and there was like 28 days before or something. One was a prequel.
Okay.
Yeah, but the movie was the best.
Seconds before.
No, the movie was like it didn't need sequels or prequels. Like it was a standalone cool thing.
Yeah, and wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was like it wasn't like a big box office movie or anything, right? When it came out, like it was.
No.
I don't know.
No, I think it was. I think it was one of those like made cheaply and then blew up because it was actually decent, and it was
like a film
different
festival type movie.
The zombies weren't just like tripping over each other stupid. It was like it was more of an animalistic like.
It was a virus. Like they weren't really zombies.
Yeah.
They weren't dead. They were just like had rabies, which was like a cool like realistic twist on that genre. They're not walking corpses. It's just like they have Ebola or some shit.
They're coming for you, Barbara. It's none of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only scary movie on my list.
Oh,
by
here
the way,
we go.
So.
Then.
That's it.
Here we go.
All right,
so
back,
RJ,
back to me.
Where are you sitting at 4?
I'm putting Pumpkinhead at 4.
Pumpkinhead.
Fucking Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
That's the
bottle glasses.
The directorial debut of Stan Winston, the like special effects wizard. He did like Alien and Terminator and Predator and Monster Squad and every 80s genre movie pretty much. He like wanted to direct a movie and design the monster and do everything, and we got Pumpkinhead.
Wow.
And
okay.
Scared me a lot when I was younger, for sure.
Yeah, I remember that creeping the shit out of me too.
Yeah, that was a fucking Pumpkinhead, and they just like ran that kid over with the fucking motorcycle.
Yeah, they did. Lance Hendrickson's in it.
Is that the guy from Millennium?
I don't know. He's the guy from Alien.
Yes, that's what I meant
What's
to say.
millennium?
I don't know. He was at the time. It was like he was on a hit Fox show called Millennium.
Never heard of
I
Millennium.
first discovered that movie, and it was like, oh wow, yeah. It wasn't good. It was like the answer to the X-Files after the X-Files got shut down.
Yeah.
And
how many dicks are in this movie?
I don't think there's any dicks.
0 dicks.
I think-
Okay, 0 dicks.
Does
for this
Pumpkinhead
one.
have a dick?
No, he's smooth.
Is that why they called him Pumpkinhead?
Yeah, it's not a mushroom head, it's a pumpkin head.
It's all veiny and shit.
Full of seeds. Full of so many seeds.
So many seeds.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like I don't know, it was a good one. Yeah, I enjoyed Pumpkinhead.
I can't remember last time I seen it, but it was a scary one for sure as a kid.
So my pick got better. I set the bar real low with Jason 7.
I set the bar high. I set the bar high.
I'm gonna. I'll fire in at number 4. Here it comes. It's a little, but Exorcist.
Okay.
I'm gonna put The Exorcist there.
Yeah.
This was a movie that, as a child, actually like petrified me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But as time has gone on, it's kind of just that cliche answer as like, what's the best like scary movie?
Yeah.
And so I thought I would honor it for being there, because for sure, like, it was scary as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, there's other movies I think people should see that are also good. You know, like check these out. So, but the story of Reagan and the Ouija board and the fucking Captain Howdy, fucking creepy as fuck. And then even when they like re-released it in like 2001, when it was already 50 years old, 'cause it's just like old as fuck and a great movie. Like, it was just so much more scarier.
They added in a bunch of like extra shit in that one.
Yeah, with the scissor walking.
And there's like flashes of the
Yeah.
demon's face every now and then.
And that creeped me the fuck out. Like,
Yeah,
that
totally.
scares me more than her being like, oh, look at all this green puke I'm throwing up. Like, I'm not into that.
Or
You
the
know,
pissing
not-
and stuff or whatever.
I remember though when I saw that the
Pissing
first
shit
time,
everywhere.
being so fucking scared, and then the
Yeah.
only thing that like made it okay was, I don't know how the timing worked out, but there was like a behind the scenes like documentary on TV that like I watched and saw how they did
Movie
the special
magic.
Yeah, it was like a movie magic, just
On
like
Discovery Channel?
yeah, it's
great
fucking
show.
just serendipitous that happened around the same time. So I
can
saw
make,
like how they did some of the
logical-
stuff, and it was like that's the only reason that movie didn't like give me schizophrenia.
Pea soup.
Yeah, seeing the soup,
Yeah.
seeing how they did the head spin like in like 2 or 3 takes, and
Yeah.
she just turns her head all the way to the left. They cut to someone else. She puts it all the way to the right and just does this. Like, oh, that's how they do that. But like when you're 10 years old, it's like what the fuck?
I remember
I
trying
remember-
to watch that movie like a dozen times and never getting through it.
Right.
Like the first dozen times we tried to watch it, it was just like, okay, we got to shut this off. It's too fucking intense.
Yeah.
I remember like making that like crucial mistake of like, we're gonna watch this movie in the middle of the afternoon,
Yeah.
just so we don't have to like it's in the daylight kind of thing. You watch it at like 2:00, and then once the movie's done, it starts getting dark out.
Yeah.
That it's like, now I have to like do the next 6 hours of just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And also too, like, I think I've said this before, where me being the Catholic schoolboy that I was, like, I always thought that movie was like something that was like, oh my god, like that could happen to me if I look at pornography someday or something.
Well, that's
You know,
like,
like-
the beauty of what made that so scary is they didn't set it in some crazy. It's in a haunted house somewhere. It's not like a Jason movie at some summer camp somewhere. It's like this is just a regular house, regular neighborhood.
In Georgetown,
Yeah,
like
same deal with
fucking
like
Washington or
Poltergeist.
something.
That's why that ghost story like was so good. It's
Yeah.
like this isn't some haunted house in some gothic town somewhere. It's just like a subdivision. Like it's very accessible that you can see you in that role very easily.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mike, what about you? Number 4.
Number 4, not scary at all. but funny as fuck, and kind of like it, like I guess parallel to the genre, is This Is the End.
I don't think I've seen
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah, with Seth Rogen.
With Seth Rogen.
Oh, that is
and all
funny.
those guys, and there's that demon, and they're stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Danny McBride. Yeah.
Danny McBride.
When I first seen that movie, like I think I watched it 2 times in one weekend. I would laugh so fucking hard watching that movie. And like
Michael Cera's getting his dick sucked and his ass eaten out at the same time.
Drinking a juice box.
And then like what? You know, like
Yeah.
you've intruded on his good time. Like
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's the douchebag
Sorry.
at the party and then gets killed pretty aggressively.
Yeah. And there's a big dick at the end there. There's the dick.
There's one dick
there's
in
one
that
dick.
movie.
Yeah. Devil's dick.
Do all my other movies have dicks? They might. There might
So
be a
far,
couple
you're
of dicks.
2 for
Am I
3.
Did I just find out I'm gay?
Or at least
Right.
like super homophobic. If this is what scares you
Or
the
bi.
most.
Gee, there's nothing wrong. Love is a spectrum. Sex is a spectrum.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Dr. Science.
Get on it.
Dr. Science.
Yeah.
Doctor knew it.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
wanna
that
be
movie.
fucking black and white your whole life? You can be black and white, or you can be fucking yellow or blue. Turquoise.
Magenta.
Magenta. I'm a
But like, although that movie isn't scary at all, there's thrilling elements and I guess horror elements, you know, with the demon and all that. But it's just a fucking funny movie,
Yeah, it's
and I
great.
guess
Yeah.
it is parallel to the genre. It's not it.
God.
I remember being like
Dropping
really
all my
into
beers.
the like what's happening part of it. Like, oh, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't really like pursue it whatsoever. Like it's about just like the end of the world. It's like rapture.
Yeah,
But I remember like
rationing
being
their
really
food
into like,
and
oh, what's
drugs.
going on? Is it aliens? Is it this and that? And then they never like explore that whatsoever. And I like realized, you know, 3/4 of the way through, it's like, oh, this isn't one of those movies where they're gonna
No.
like solve the mystery and whatever. It's just like they're just like
No,
funny.
I thought it was all kind of a knock on Christianity about.
Yeah,
how
yeah, it's just like
if
the end
you
of the,
just, like,
you know, Jesus
if
came
you
back and
confess your sins.
Yeah.
You get to go to heaven. So why would you live your whole life like that?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like the Backstreet Boys performed at the end.
yeah.
Come on, in heaven? Not in my heaven.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
No, but like
It's funny,
I don't
like
know.
the one dude's is it like James Franco or something? He's getting sucked up into heaven, and he's just like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
fucking losers!" And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, done.
Goes back down.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
down. Wait a second. Yeah, yeah, that was a funny one.
That's a good pick.
Send
RJ.
Craig out. Send Craig out.
Yeah, yeah.
With a hose tied around him or whatever.
I might watch that tonight.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It holds up.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go get
Yeah.
some fucking street pork. Come back and
Do
watch
it.
This Is the End.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
your
do
number
it.
3 then, RJ?
Number 3 is Candyman.
Ooh.
Knocking
Candyman.
on your door.
Yeah. Clive Barker. It's based on one of the Books of Blood, which is like a collection of short stories, which I read way after the book, after I saw the movie. But the movie is fucking terrifying,
Yeah. it's
especially
shit
as a
one for
kid.
sure.
I remember being in like grade 2 or 3, like so young, and we're in like elementary school, and my friend Kevin turned off the lights in the fucking boys' bathroom and was like, "Say Candyman into the mirror." And we
Yeah.
did it, and it was
Yeah.
the scariest fucking, 2 p.m. in the afternoon in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the boys' room in elementary school, and we just like turned off all the lights and did Candyman into the mirror, and it was horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
I
that
thought
definitely,
that.
like carries that like stigma of like yes, this movie is creepy,
Yeah.
but once it's over, like you can go to the mirror and do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
and that's
Like,
the
it's-
test.
that's
Like,
what's
can you
weird
go
about
do
it.
that?
It's like a Bloody Mary kind of
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
And I've seen it recently, and it fucking stands up. Like, there's a lot. Like, if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it recently, like besides it being
I
like
haven't, no.
for kids, like, oh, go see Candyman in the mirror. Like, there's some really interesting commentary on like black, white, race relationships. It's like this white
Okay.
journalist goes into like the ghetto of Chicago and like explores their like folklore and Candyman's a part of that, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fought the temptation for years to say Candyman in the Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bloody
I fought,
Mary. And
I
all
fought
that
the
stuff,
temptation for years, and then there was just like one day when I was like mad at the roommate, and we were in the washroom together, and I just slammed the lights off and was like, Candyman, 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 and fucking ran out as fast as I could.
Hold the door shut when you get on the other side.
No.
What are you doing? And like, nothing. And then, you know,
Fuck, it didn't work.
didn't work, and then I played it cool after, obviously, right? Like,
Yeah, you got it.
yeah. Oh, baby. Gotcha. Fooled you. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, on that note, for me,
Number 3.
we're at number
This
3.
is a good number. It's getting-
Werewolf, American Werewolf
In
in
London.
London.
In London.
Is it London or London?
London.
London's the old one,
Not
right?
Paris.
Not Paris. Yeah. Ugh. Talk
Calm
about
down.
American
Calm down.
Werewolf in London. Me and the roommate, like again, we do our October horror movies. We watched this movie not too long ago,
Uh-huh.
and it was pretty fucking cool. Just the
Oh,
whole
it stands up.
backpackers. RJ, you can relate with this.
Yeah.
Just like backpackers through some weird backcountry in London.
Yep.
Or I guess England. Like London doesn't got backcountry.
Yeah,
You're either
stay
in
off the
fucking London or
moors.
you're stay off the moors. They kept telling them, don't walk through the moors, and then of course they walk through the moors, and they get attacked by the werewolf. And yeah, and I don't know. It's a good movie. It's a good one. It's one of those like there's a transformation of the werewolf from the human to the man that like you watch the whole thing,
That's super
and it's
cool,
not
yeah.
even so much like it's like the werewolf with wearing the jeans to to conceal his penis and stuff. It's like
He's a wolf.
he's a wolf.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need pants, so they
Yeah.
rip off.
And it's
doesn't, you
funny.
know,
It's a funny movie.
yeah. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
And the ending of it is super chaotic,
Yeah.
and it's like, holy fuck. Once he gets into London,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh, this is why it's werewolf in London.
I also really like the relationship he has with that nurse. Like the chemistry between those two actors is really good. Like they're
Yeah.
flirting and falling for each other is like real believable. Just like an all around romance, comedy, horror movie. Like all balled up. Have you heard about
Behind
that?
the scenes, like, they weren't actually supposed to do that. They just
fell for it.
Yeah, they just did it. They fell for each other on set.
If you got total sidebar, have seen those like YouTube videos all balled up? You know how they can like go into like McDonald's or In-N-Out Burger and order off like the secret menu if you like say like I want the, you know, Royal McTwist.
Dress it like a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you go in and be like,
Oh,
I want
I
a
didn't know.
double cheeseburger, but dress it like a Big Mac,
Yeah.
like they'll do it for you,
Yeah.
and it's not $8.
So there's like this YouTube like viral deal where people go in and like, can I get a Big Mac all balled up? It's just like crumpled into a ball.
It's like dark McDonald's, like dark
Can I
internet.
get a chicken burger all balled up?
Balled up, girl. Oh,
Anyway, Mike, what's your
Nerd.
take on American Werewolf?
Haven't seen it for years. Definitely the transformation scene is the coolest part of that movie.
it's iconic, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think is
Yeah.
like the one that everyone thinks of, and it's
Yeah.
like honestly, I thought it was just a cool movie.
Yeah.
It's a good watch.
The
yeah, I
Soundtrack
should
is great
revisit that.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's no what the fuck is that movie?
Rescue.
Come back to me. And like my number 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
Ooh, is
Yeah.
that a horror? Yeah, okay. You're going
Well, it's
comedy
again.
horror.
I'm not picking. Oh, I guess that is a classic, and my next one's kind of classic too. But I'm trying to stay away from like. I don't want to name any names because then you guys might have them. But you know, some of the
I'm
classics.
not like I don't know much about Ghostbusters, but I can say that
All-star cast.
me and RJ, when we were like fucking 7 and 8 years old, all we had was Ghostbusters everything.
Yeah.
Oh, for
So,
sure.
Everything.
This is like there's a
Yeah.
bit of a bias here. But like, is that a horror movie? I don't know.
You know what,
but
though?
It's pretty
No.
great.
I'm gonna be
It's
the
terrible.
devil's
It's the
advocate.
greatest movie up there.
Devil's
Yeah.
advocate on this topic. Ghostbusters the cartoon is what I was fucking balls deep in. The movie never really like did it for me. Even to this day, I watch it and it's like this like style of comedy just is kind of dated. Like it's too dry and I don't know.
Weird.
Like I find it boring. In between the like famous scenes, it's like what they're doing what now? Like,
but were you
until
bored
the
by
earthquake happens, and then like when the earthquake and they come out of the earthquake reborn as like
there's parts, but I think
were you bored by it like in its day, or you're bored by it now?
In its day, I for sure didn't like it because I was a kid, and it's like nothing happens until the end.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then as an adult, like I can appreciate the Bill Murray comedy more, but I still don't see why it's like beloved. And I know that I love it because of the cartoon. I love the fucking cartoon.
Yeah,
I think
the cartoon was definitely a big deal growing up. The pajamas.
We're not talking about cartoons, we're talking about horror.
But compared to like Ninja Turtles, where it's like I love the live action movies and the cartoons, I didn't love the live action Ghostbuster movies, either of them. One or two. Two is kind of dumb. Yeah. They're like in the Statue of Liberty walking around and shit. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, fuck, I can't remember.
I just love that one scene though with like Ray, and it's like nobody think of anything. I'm like, fuck. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Like, what do you mean sorry? Like, it just popped in there.
There's
what
parts.
Just popped in there?
Yeah, I'll give you there's parts.
Stay Puft Marshmallow, man. Like, that.
Yeah, I think it's on my list. Definitely as one of the most nostalgic picks, and it is in October without at least revisiting Ghostbusters.
I think like that's a bit of a shitty pick on your part for number 3. I'm not saying not saying it's not a horror movie, but it's up there with being like, hey, like Die Hard's a Christmas movie, or
yeah.
It's that gray area of like, because there's ghosts.
Yeah.
Anyways, RJ, number 2, what do you got?
Well, my number 2 is kind of a weird one because I doubt either of you have seen it. But I'm happy, Skylar, that you said American Werewolf is your number 3.
Oh, shit.
Because my number 2 is Innocent Blood, which is John Landis, who directed American Werewolf. He also did like Animal House and a bunch of other comedies. So he did all these comedy movies, and he did American Werewolf, which was his first horror movie. And we all universally agreed it was great. And then in like the early 90s, he did a vampire movie called Innocent Blood. And it's about a vampire in like Pittsburgh that bites like someone in the mafia. And then the mafia is like all vampires now. And they're all just like Goomba, like Italian stereotype, like, and like Don Rickles is in it, and it's awesome. Like if you like American Werewolf in London, get Innocent Blood popping up this weekend with a roommate. It's like the same style of like, it's a horror movie, but there's like funniness in it.
All right.
Innocent Blood, fan.
Never heard of it.
Innocent Blood.
No one's heard of it. But it's good.
No one's heard of it.
Because, like, John Landis, for the viewers at home and you two, he was, like, really popular in the 80s and 70s with, like, the National Lampoon kind of movies. And then he directed the Twilight Zone movie. And in the end... exactly. In the end of the Twilight Zone movie, a helicopter crashed on set and decapitated one of the actors and killed 2 children.
Holy shit.
And it's like a huge Hollywood like black mark because he was just like being really reckless and had a real helicopter crash landing on the set, and I guess the helicopter missed its mark and just ran over. You can like YouTube the accident and it is fucking dirty. Like you full see the actor's head get decapitated by this helicopter.
You don't really see that, but they definitely just get crushed by the helicopter.
You see the head get cut off in certain angles. For sure, I've seen it.
Okay.
It's nasty.
Certain
and then he went into, like, obviously, like, a bunch of, like, litigation and was sued by a billion people. So he kind of had, like, a slowdown of his career. And I think Innocent Blood came out when he was, like, blacklisted. Because no one's ever really heard about it.
Never heard of it, no.
Yeah, and I can't really think of any movies he directed since then either. Like, he kind of just early 90s, like, disappeared.
Well.
But Innocent Blood is awesome.
All right. All right. Well,
I wrote it down.
next.
My two picks
on
are
my
the two
list,
picks are Innocent Blood
uh,
and then YouTube Twilight Zone helicopter
Twilight
crash.
Zone decapitation. Yeah.
And then don't watch that movie and just
Don't watch the movie.
decapitation
Just
video.
watch the demo.
That's number 2 on RJ's list. All right. For me, number 2 on my list, tying into last week's episode, is a vampire movie.
Ooh.
And it's
Tiring into
also,
my number 2.
I'm going to throw this out there in the honorable mentions category. We haven't really gone into that.
Is that going to
but-
be the last round, honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got 2. Yeah.
I got some.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But so I won't get into it then. I'll hold. This is
Yeah,
why
hold
we
up.
should probably do like a fucking pre-show, like prep.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we should do some kind of prep.
Number 2 for me is Salem's Lot.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
We
I've seen that.
rewatched this, me and the roommate, maybe a year ago in our October film festival, and it's like a cool like 3-hour movie.
It was a miniseries,
but
yeah?
it's like, was
I
it?
think it was.
Okay, I don't know.
Like
I
the
have no idea. I
original, like,
watched it as,
70s
like, a
version or the Rob
full-on,
Lowe
like,
one?
With I don't know who. I don't think there was anybody famous.
So that's
in
like
the
the
movie,
original,
you know?
probably.
Yeah,
There's
you
like a
know, there was,
2000s-ish
Salem's Lot
remake.
and Return to Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
And The Master.
I'm pretty sure
Like-
it's the miniseries then.
And there's
Yeah.
like a whole scene in the truck where they're like transporting the cargo, and they can hear it getting closer to them, and it's like it's creepy as fuck. It must have been in the miniseries because it was really long, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was easily the best, and like the kid comes up to the window,
Yeah.
and like, let me in, just let me in, and the other kid's like, no, like, you're floating in my window, why would I let you in? And grabs like the little cross off his like battlefield shit that he's playing. I don't even know what it was. He made little miniature sculptures of stuff, and one of them had a cross. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
RJ?
yeah. It's fucking scary as shit.
Yeah, that was like, was it a miniseries? Is that
I'm
the
pretty sure it was a
miniseries? I don't know.
miniseries. That's why it's like 3 hours. There's like 3 1-hour
Okay.
deals.
All right, well, I guess I'm cheating on this one.
That's
but
still
that,
a movie.
That movie.
They like released
that
it,
was
I think,
fun.
on VHS after.
Yeah, as a one go.
Yeah.
Because like I say, last year we watched it. We started off our October
Yeah.
horror movies with it, and it was like, holy fuck! Like, this movie is creepy and scary, and it builds up nicely to like once the vampire actually starts feeding.
And it's like the
like,
Nosferatu
holy
style
fuck.
vampire.
Yeah,
It's scary.
And this is also a little sidebar, but as a child, the Nosferatu vampire used to scare the fuck out of me.
What is that?
Like-
Explain that. I don't know what that is.
Like the white, bald vampire
With the two in
from
the
the
middle.
like 1910s.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
vampire used to just like send me for a loop.
Mm.
I couldn't handle it. It was creepy as fuck, and like,
Mm-hmm.
and it, yeah, there's a take on that in the Salem slot for sure.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but it's not.
It's
you
not
know,
a Twilight vampire, though. He's not attractive.
No, it's not Robert Pattinson. Or
No.
nothing. Like, fuck that. All right, Mike. What about you? Number 3 or number 2?
Number two.
Number two.
I kind of have a guess as to what RJ's number 1 is gonna be. It's between two different movies. This is potentially it.
Okay.
Number 2 is Child's Play.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
The first one. Okay. Yeah.
First one, yeah, and I honestly haven't seen it in so long. Like I really haven't. I googled some stills of it, and it's still like to the core, man. I don't
Too
know what it
scary.
is about Chucky, but it got me, man. It fucking got me. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, I'll agree
As a
with
kid,
that.
as a kid, that
As
like
a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
that
fact
was
that the thought
like,
of your toys coming to life to kill you,
Yeah.
I think, is what
Definitely.
is, as a child, it makes that creepy as fuck.
I don't know.
I
if-
agree.
sure.
I remember one time like going to a friend's house. Or I don't remember. His name was Joel.
I was going to
We
ask
lived
you
at
if you
the end of
remember
our
Joel.
street.
Wow, our fucking
Yeah.
memory lined up. I was just about to ask, remember Joel?
Yeah, and there was a time where we were at his house and you guys wanted to watch that movie, and it was like, I'm going home. I'm going home. Like, if you guys are putting it on, I'm going home. Like, fuck you guys. You know, not fucking.
I had a friend that had like a Chucky toy as a kid, and if I slept over at his house, he had to put it in another room. Like, you got to get that out of here.
Get that.
Like, I'm not staying over tonight if you're keeping that thing in here.
Good guy doll. Fuck that.
Yeah. That's classic, and it's scary as fuck.
Have you?
Now that series has spiraled out of control.
I haven't seen the newest one, but I saw the last one, and it was awesome.
The Cult of Chucky?
Yeah.
No, that one sucked in the mental institution.
No, there's like a girl in a wheelchair.
I think there's another one.
There must be more.
That,
there's
maybe.
So many.
Yeah.
I like when the series got funny. Like Bride of Chucky's
like Bride
awesome.
Of Chucky?
Yeah, Bride of Chucky was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theaters.
There was one after that I saw with this chick in a wheelchair that was good. And I don't know how many there have been since then. And there's a new reboot coming, I think, next year.
Yes, there's a new one coming out.
Yeah. But it's been the same like creator the whole way through, which is kind of cool. Which is pretty rare for movies.
Cool.
But Brad Dwarf, I don't think is connected.
No, but it's the same like writer and producer on all of them.
Oh,
like
cool.
Steve Marconi or something.
Right on. All right.
Which is pretty rare anyway. I guess like usually like someone creates a horror movie and then they just sell it off to the studio, but this guy like kept it. So
yeah, it is cool.
Live or die by it.
Well, I guess now, like, so we're getting into our number one picks.
Number ones.
Should we give out the honorable mentions?
Yeah, we'll do our honorable mentions. And Mike was close. My honorable mention is Child's Play 2.
Oh.
I love Child's Play 2.
Yeah, that was definitely a really good one.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's when it like
sexy.
flicks to like he's funny, but it's still scary, but he's funny. Like he has some good lines. And Child's Play 2 is just, I don't know. Child's Play 1 is fucking scary. But as far as like, if I had to rewatch one today, I'd put on 2.
2?
Like 1, 2, you guys, you know, you put out 1 and you put out the sequel.
Yeah.
Like number 2 is really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like the Spider-Man 2 of horror movies,
Yeah.
where it was like he didn't just drop the ball and
Yeah,
make Hollywood flavored, like just make sure Jason's in every third shot or Freddy's in every third shot kind of thing, right? It was like, no, this is number 2 is really good. Well, and those movies, like I say, those movies were creepy as fuck just because of the kid aspect. And,
well, because in the first one, you don't see Chucky move until like almost the ending. Yeah, and like the whole time it's like Andy is saying, "I didn't do it, Chucky did." Yeah. So there's like a little bit of like, maybe this kid is just fucking crazy. And then when Chucky comes to life in the endish, like 3/4 through, it's like, holy fuck, and it's really scary when he turns around the first time because there's no batteries in him. But then in the sequel, like, you know the whole time Chucky's real. So it's like really frustrating for the viewer, for Andy to be like, I didn't do it, Chucky did. And the teachers and shit are like, your doll's not alive. And we're all like, the viewers like, yes it is. Like, do not leave the doll in the room with those people.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick sidebar though. Have you guys seen Ready Player One, the new Steven Spielberg movie?
Yeah.
You have seen it?
I haven't seen it. I've heard.
You should definitely watch it. It's awesome. But Chucky's in it. It's awesome.
Nice.
Because that movie's just full of like every character in pop culture like exists in this world. And there's like this really cool scene in the end when like Chucky shows up and all the like people are like, oh my god, it's fucking Chucky, and he's just like stabbing everybody. Like it's awesome. It's cool.
So my honorable mentions, this is a bit cheeky, but there's like a more of a whole genre here. But anything Stephen King.
That is the whole genre.
Anything that's got Stephen King's name attached to it, I think is creepy as fuck. Like, even for those old shitty movies.
Yep.
I can, like, you know, It, the original Tim Curry, It.
Yep.
I remember as a child, absolutely scared the fuck out of me. That I could not sleep at times.
Mm-hmm.
Pet Sematary.
Yep.
Great movie.
With the sister, is one of the scariest... absolutely scariest scenes in a movie I've ever watched.
Yeah.
is it Hilda or Zelda? I think it's
I
Zelda.
think it's Zelda.
Absolutely creepy as fuck.
Have you seen the miniseries Storm of the Century?
No.
Definitely
No,
watch that with a roommate. It's like 7 hours long, and it's a really slow build. Like, there's just like this big winter storm, so all these people are like, evacuated from the town, and they're all in a house. And one of the people is a demon, and it's just like a really slow, I don't know,
Slow
Stephen
burn.
King
Oh,
slow
nice.
burn. And it's like, this is like, and it's perfect for like binging because it's like 7 hours long. And so much of that movie, like nothing happens, and like people just go off and make dinner and they come back. So it's like kind of an experience to watch it with someone like your roommate, and like, okay, you go make popcorn, I'll watch the TV and let you know if anything happens, kind of thing. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely Storm of the Century this month.
But honestly, like anything he's got his name attached to is absolutely like it's gonna be like, there was a point in the 80s where like every Stephen King movie, every Stephen King book got made into something, but if you watch them, it's like they're actually like just good horror movies.
Children
like,
of the Corn stands up.
Children of the Corn, Tommy Knockers was fun.
Stand is good.
And like even like 1408, like they're just like actual horror movies, like.
And Shawshank Redemption,
like
the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, greatest movie of all time. But it's like almost like that pulp, like, like pulp magazine style movie. It's like every week there's this new stupid story about a werewolf or pirates or vampires.
Yeah.
That's Stephen King, but in movie form, right? And I think you got to give him credit. Silver Bullet, like that movie's fucking
so many
sick.
good ones.
One of the best werewolf movies ever is Silver Bullet.
Yeah, of course.
With Corey
Haim.
Haim. Yeah, and Gary Busey.
Busey.
Yeah, like that's one movie. Like I don't know. Maybe it's gonna come up, but like that to me is one of the like horror movies. Watch that movie. That's the horror movie for werewolves.
Other than your number 3, American Werewolf in London.
Other than that one, totally different.
Mike, do you have an honorable mention before I get to my number 1 pick?
Yeah, I don't. I was gonna honorable mention something that I think is gonna be your number 1 pick, so I won't say it. But
you can jump the
I'll
line. Yeah, it's fine.
No, I won't. I'll pick one that honorable mention I know you guys aren't thinking about, and that is again not really a horror, but parallel, and that's Bubba Hotep.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm with you on
that.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie, man.
Think of a sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Paint JFK black.
Sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, black JFK, old Elvis.
They dyed me this color.
That fucking demon that sucks the souls out of all the old people's assholes.
Yeah.
Like it. That again, not the most thrilling or captivating movie, but funny premise. And if you like Bruce Campbell, then that's a good one.
I feel like that movie honey-dicked me into Bruce Campbell fandom.
Yeah.
Because like I liked the Evil Dead movies, but they're just like, okay, these are just old horror movies. Like I never put much thought into them. And then I remember he had that shitty 90s TV show, like fucking Jack of All Trades or something.
The Xena spinoff?
Yeah, I don't remember really, but I was like vaguely aware of who he was. And then right about the time like Bubba Hotep came out, someone in my college gave me the like autobiography. Like they went to like some signing and they had to buy a book and they read the autobiography and then they gave it to me and I read the book and it was really good. And I'm like, oh yeah, Bruce Campbell's awesome. And then Bubba Hotep came out and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Bruce Campbell. And then like since then, like just tracking down every other Bruce Campbell movie is fucking garbage. And he's a terrible actor and he ruins every movie he's in. Even it's like, oh, he's in Spider-Man and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but those are the worst scenes.
Yeah, it's like the joke.
Yeah, it's like he's the worst in every movie. But it was just that perfect lining up of like I read his autobiography and it was funny. And then Bubba Hotep was amazing.
So good.
And it's like, oh, I got to track down all his like, '90s movies and TV. It's like, this guy's a horrible actor. That's why he never went anywhere. He's terrible.
Can I throw this out there?
Yeah.
This is more of a fuck this horror genre. Can't stand it.
Yep.
Is the like Paranormal Activity, first person,
like the
Blair
Ring
Witch
kind
style.
of thing. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, can't stand that shit. Refuse. Just that movie in general. I refuse to watch those movies.
I really enjoyed the first Blair Witch when it came out.
Yeah, like
first Blair
okay,
Witch
first
is
Blair
great.
Witch was
Freaky as
decent.
Yeah.
But you know, it spirals out of control, and like with your Paranormal Activities, there's like 5 or 6 of them now.
I haven't seen a single one.
None of that makes me fucking scared. Makes me
hard. Or hard? Or do you get hard a little bit?
I just get frustrated with the premise that, like, oh, this is a real movie. Like, I'm fine with it being, like, it's a found footage. Like, this is a interesting way to show a movie. Like, Cloverfield. Like, this is an interesting way to show a Godzilla movie. But don't fucking tell me it's real. Like, I know it's not real. And now you're just annoying me before the movie even starts.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, and a lot of those movies fall into that, like Wreck and all those. It's like, oh, this is like, they found this on the internet. It's like, no, they didn't. It's not real.
And I feel like...
Shut up.
Maybe it was South Park that, like, made the joke where it's like, you're not actually scared of these movies. They're just, they startle you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like... camera moves quick. You see something, and like,
Yeah.
oh god, oh, and then
It's not like to the core.
No.
Or anything.
Yeah, it's not like there's no
second
like
viewing. You'll never watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it happens once.
it happens once for sure.
Yeah, so don't watch those movies.
No, it's a waste of time.
All
That
right,
genre
watch
kind of
one.
died though. They don't do
Is
those
this-
anymore.
Is this it? Number
Number
one.
one.
picks?
Number one.
Number one.
I want to hear what Mikey's honorable mention was to see if he's close, because I think we're close.
Did we not hear Mikeys?
He said he had two.
I actually have a couple honorable mentions I just wanted to talk about after.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to put them on the list because they were, I don't know, almost like cliche or whatever. But the two, if I had to guess between... Well, I thought Child's Play would be your number one.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I'm thinking it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Again, you're real close.
And if
Nightmare on
it's
Elm
not,
Street
then
3.
Yeah. Okay.
3 is the one. That's the one.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Patricia Arquette's in
I
it.
know. They nailed it on number 3.
Number
right? Like,
3,
number
they
2
fucking
was
nailed
fucking
it.
Stupid as shit.
The first one's
Number
good.
one.
Second one
Number
sucks.
one gave you the premise that was like believable, cool. Number 2, fucking sucks. Let's not even talk about number 2.
No, you pass on that.
Number 3 really just embraced the dream demon.
And just the the way they break down, like every character has like a thing, and that's the thing that he uses to kill them. Like that's when they really dialed down the formula for a good Freddy movie. And the music is sick. The actors are at their like peak. After that, it was all like, because in the first one, it's like Johnny Depp is in it, and they started with like the name brands, and like the third one, like Patricia Arquette's the star, and like that's when Freddy really becomes like a personality, and he's not like a villain anymore. Like you like him, he's funny, and the deaths are all real cool. And it's the last one I feel anyway that like ties the story together.
Okay.
Like if you're a fan of the genre, it's like the third one is when you like discover his mom and you do all that stuff, and then after that they just keep like adding this shit that's like not necessary, but they want to keep adding to the myth to make a sequel. But the third one is like, okay, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. It's funny. It's not really scary,
I'll have to
but the like
revisit
special effects are like they go
with
for it. Like Freddy turns into a giant like dick dragon. It's like okay, they spared no budget.
But like the thing that's weird, like there's definitely like a comparison to like the Freddy and Jason universes to like the Marvel universes, where it was just kind of one of those like you can just pump these movies out and people know who Freddy is, like a James Bond, right? Like it's, you don't need to reintroduce this character every time. It was just like, Freddy.
You know what to expect.
If you're coming to watch Freddy number fucking 9, you've probably seen 4 through fucking 8.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just, we're not wasting our time on this. So it was
Yeah, you don't need an
yeah,
origin.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
3 was in my opinion, the last one where they added to the origin and it made sense. It's like, oh, his bones were hidden in the like junkyard. Like there's all this parts they
that
add
was a
to
good
it.
one, yeah.
That's all in 3, and then like 4, 5, 6, they just. And his dad was this, and it's like we already learned that his dad was like some asylum, like son of 1,000 maniacs from part 3. Like you can't just like add to whatever.
Yeah.
Getting very.
If number 3 was the Cadillac.
Number 3 is the
that
Cadillac
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was where was that? All right, I guess
Number
my
one.
number one.
Number
pick,
one.
Yeah.
Number one.
I bet it's not a
is
sequel.
Not a sequel. It's an original, and it's Poltergeist.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a child again watching these movies, that movie creeped me the fuck out. Not the fucking remake, like the the 2002 version, whatever. The original one, and the fucking clown. Like I'm not afraid of clowns at all. Like I said earlier, it really creeped me the fuck out. And
Oh yeah.
but the toy clown in Poltergeist was scarier than Pennywise was in it to me.
Really?
And I also
and it
felt
has
like
to do with the same thing you said about Chucky, kind of like how, it's kind of creepy that your toys
the
can
toys,
reanimate.
yeah, my toys
and,
are coming.
It's,
like,
it's kind
I
of
think,
personal.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like sidebar here, but like me and RJ like have always really been into the horror movies, and we had a cottage, still have a cottage, and we would go there, and there was a movie place close by that we could rent movies. So when we were bored, we would just go and rent a movie for like $3 or $6 kind of thing. Like we go and get 2 horror movies, come home, and that would be our night when we were at the cottage for like
Say
36
bucks. 36
no,
bucks?
no, $3 to $6
Oh,
for
it's
like
like,
just
holy shit.
rent a shitty old movie, and that's all we used to do was just go and rent old shitty movies, and that was our whole like not the whole cottage, like cottage was what it
We
was.
would go
but
for
then
the
at
like
night,
entire
sometimes we would-
summer, so it's like you can only do so many campfires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets boring after a while. We're privileged.
Yeah.
We reek of the priv, But so we used to watch horror movies nonstop, and I just remember like Poltergeist was one that there's that scene at the very end of Poltergeist where they just leave and go and get in a hotel and push the TV out of the and it's just like so many times when you watch horror movies, it's like, why are you running up the stairs? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Don't open that door.
Like, yeah, this movie really was just like, these people just endured this crazy fucking phenomenon. Mm-hmm. And then when they go to their new place, it's just like, okay, let's not make the same mistakes we did. Let's get rid of the TV. Let's,
Mm-hmm.
strap the kid to the bed. I don't know.
Yeah. Plus that like little gypsy woman, the psychic. She's supposed to be like
This house is clean.
She's supposed to be like on their team, and she's as terrifying as every other monster.
Yeah, and also too like the twist of just where it's like, oh, they moved the graveyard, but they didn't move the bodies. Like that's so
Yeah, and like I said earlier in the show, like that movie's scary because it's an everyday subdivision. Like, it's not a house on Haunted Hill or some bullshit. It's like, no, this is just a regular house that this family just moved into. It could happen anywhere.
And again, like, I pick it because it is, like, just a haunted... It's a haunted house story. Like, everyone loves a good haunted house story. Like, you can just as easily leave the house, but you've bought the house, so you gotta stay.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's escalating. At first, it's like, what's going on? And then by the end, it's like, oh, the house... is trying to kill you.
Yeah. You didn't move the bodies.
In the beginning, it's just like the chair like slides across the kitchen, and they're all like pretty into it. It's like, watch this.
Yeah.
Our house is cool. Yeah.
No strings
Mike.
attached.
Number one.
Yeah, I mean, there's dozens of picks left for number one, and I have two written down, and I was kind of bouncing around here. I'm just gonna go with my gut and say Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is my number one. Yeah.
Yep.
As far as
full
the
of ghosts and ghouls. Yep. Okay.
yeah.
We get it.
Count it or don't. It's
It
my
counts.
favorite in that genre. Yeah.
Why?
Well, I guess it's.
Why is it number one? Explain yourself.
I mean, like all-star cast
Yeah, it's
for
great.
one,
Yeah.
right?
Michael
It's got all-star
Keaton.
cast. Beetlejuice is vile and gross, and as a kid, that was like, it was appealing, you know, like just that attitude and that, I guess, bravado that he has,
Yeah.
you know, through the entire movie. That ego, like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed
I
it.
remember-
And there's nostalgia. That's the only reason Ghostbusters is on my list. Like, it's not a fucking horror. It's just nostalgia. I'm trying not to pick The Shining or, you know, any of those movies.
Yeah, I'm
Amityville
surprised
Horror.
Shining didn't come up.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
that's
know,
a good
no one
honorable
said The
mention.
Shining.
It's definitely a good
Amityville
honorable
Horror, no
mention.
one picked that. You know, like,
I remember when
I'm surprised that you said The Exorcist, to be honest.
Beetlejuice.
I feel like Exorcist has to come up.
It
It has
Like,
to, but
that's-
Yeah.
not
like, as much
yeah.
as it's like, ugh, fuck that movie. It's like, okay, but also fuck
It's
off. Like, I
actually
mean, it's
scary.
creepy and
Yeah.
that's why it was 4. It was late on my list.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Honorable mention, right?
I read.
Well, it's like
Shining, for sure.
when I was a kid, the movie The Sandman, like that fucking, I don't even remember,
I don't
but I remember
remember
that
that
movie
movie.
scaring
no,
the
no idea what you're
shit.
talking about.
I remember that scaring the shit out of me. I think it might have been a play on like the Freddy Krueger thing, right, where it gets you
Okay.
in your dreams. But I don't remember that movie at all. But that was like one of the scariest movies I watched as a kid. I remember building a fort around the TV. Like anytime we watch anything scary, it's like we're building a blanket fort, getting fucking right creeped out. Yeah,
Because that's going to protect you.
yeah,
You're
of
not gonna
course.
Get in.
But yeah, Beetlejuice, man, like that movie holds up. It's enjoyable. It's
It's
not
Number
terrible.
one.
Number one.
Number one,
Number one
baby.
of 5 is fucking Beetlejuice.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Alright, let's end this.
I remember not when Beetlejuice came out, but not long after when Batman came out, and wanting to go see Batman, and like our parents are like, "Oh, that's Beetlejuice is Batman," and being like too young to understand actors
Michael
or like
Keaton.
Michael Keaton
Yeah.
wearing makeup, and being
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like confused. I'm like, Beetlejuice is not Batman.
No, he's not.
What?
Yeah.
Like
Wait a
I
second.
don't understand. And it's like that's Batman,
Shut the
or like
fuck
that's
up, Mom.
Beetlejuice, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like that is fucking Bruce Wayne on
Yeah.
screen.
Also,
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as Batman is the best Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
hands down.
I never saw
Nah.
the like new one with Affleck.
Oh, fuck
No,
off.
I haven't seen
Never
that either.
seen it. You've seen it.
I don't think I did see
We all
it.
seen
I
it.
haven't seen it.
I never
seen
saw
it.
Christian
it.
Bale. Christian Bale.
Christian
was
Bale's
decent.
great.
Christian
I mean,
Bale
but-
was a killer
so,
Batman,
like,
but
okay, if you haven't seen Ben Affleck, you're saying that between Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer,
Yeah.
George Clooney,
George
Christian
Clooney, yeah,
Bale,
yeah.
that
Michael Keaton.
Keaton's two. Keaton's two.
I think honestly, the reason why it's number one is because that movie is fucking unbelievable. The penguin, the fucking eyeballs on the motorcycles, like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
okay,
that
yeah.
movie's great. It's like
He's
it's
better
like
than Clooney and Kilmer. I'll give you
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Clooney's
Oh,
at the
easily.
bottom. Kilmer's 3. Keaton's 2.
But I like that original Batman movie, regardless of Michael Keaton, more than I like the Dark Knight or whatever the one that.
Skylar, we've definitely had this
Which is a great
conversation before. But I think like the most crucial part of casting Batman is like you have to cast Bruce Wayne. And I like the
Yeah.
Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne more than the Christian Bale. Like
Here's some straight talk. Christian Bale and Michael Keaton are too short to be
to
fucking.
be Batman.
Yeah. They're little guys.
Yeah.
They're little
Yeah.
guys, and it's
Really,
like,
are they?
But Christian
Yeah,
Bale
they're
put
just
on
little
weight.
dudes.
He
And
was
like, so if that guy
huge.
snuck up on you, you wouldn't just
Yeah.
be like, "Well, I'm just gonna drop kick you in the face."
He's so thick though. Christian Bale.
Here's this.
But like
Number one horror
his Bruce
movie,
Wayne I
Batman.
think was like
Batman, yeah.
the Batman version of like in one
Look,
way it
I
makes
think-
sense.
I think this
like
is
he's
a
super
different
cocky and he
episode.
knows everything. But I like the Michael Keaton that's like a little bit shy and like I don't know what you'd call that. Like
Reserved.
And just awkward. Like, it really felt like when he puts on the bat suit, now he's a fucking superhero. Now he can do it. Versus Christian Bale is like a fucking dickhead in real life. And then he puts on the bat suit and he's still just a dickhead bully.
Well, he was
like I said, this is like we need to have a Batman episode.
We can do that.
It's because I think Christian Bale played it as if he is Batman all the time.
Yeah, it's two different takes on it.
Bruce Wayne was the mask.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to do a Batman episode.
Yeah. Next episode.
I'm just
after
glad
all this
that
Halloween nonsense.
Well,
I'm just
on
glad
Mike's
that Rue's
fucking
not giving me shit about Beetlejuice.
Mike's goddamn idea of a Halloween movie, Batman could fall in line for sure.
Yeah,
the only thing I remember
My
about
idea of
fucking
Halloween,
Beetlejuice
for sure.
is like the fucking jump in the line. Oh, jump in the line. And then there was a really long tunnel, bridge tunnel that was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
It's a good movie.
So,
yeah, good movie.
if you're listening to this whole podcast, fucking don't listen to Mike's.
Yeah, no. I told you guys prior to this podcast that you're carrying it, so are you surprised? Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
No, I think that's
I think the scariest thing about this episode would be if I had 5 good picks.
I think having your wild card picks are a good round out. I was expecting you to have like Ernest Scared Stupid on there.
Well, I could pick Child's Play and fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining, The Exorcist, and
All right.
and go 5 easy. But I was like, well, I want to think about like what did I enjoy in my yesteryears. And another honorable mention, Teeth. That movie Teeth. Where that Vagina Dentata, where the woman bites the dick off. Yeah. I mean, like that was a good movie in a weird way.
Oh, it's definitely a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a fucking let's watch it every weekend type of movie, but that's on there. And what about the Treehouse of Horrors?
Yeah.
Like, that was huge as a kid.
The whole Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Simpsons fucking catalog. Treehouse of Horrors, man.
Yep.
Definitely.
So I was trying to think more in that direction, like what did I enjoy, not just like what do you expect me to enjoy. You know, but you guys are horror movie buffs and like, you know, like the direct, well, more so than I would ever be, you know. Yeah. Like I have the same. I think I have the same allegiance to music that you guys do to horror movies and music. You guys are into music like that too. But the directors and the actors and fucking suck this guy off and suck that guy off, and you guys are hard on all of it. You know.
You're the one that had like 2 dicks in their top 5.
There might be more dicks if we want to dig deep. Like Bubba Hotep, there might be a dick
in there. There's a couple.
dicks.
Bubba Hotep's a good pick. Though. I forgot.
There's definitely a dick or two in fucking Werewolf in Paris. Werewolf in London.
Is there?
Yeah, it's true.
I
don't know.
I could see it.
Transforms into a wolf. You don't think you're gonna see his little dick in that process? Like, if you sit there and watch someone turn into a wolf and not think you're gonna see some dick, you better not watch. Yeah, it's flopping everywhere.
That's what's funny about the dick in This Is the End, because you're like, it's a giant demon. Of course, it's gonna have a big swinging dick, and it's, you know, it's obvious.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up.
That's our top 5 each of horror movies. Mm-hmm. It is Halloween. Followers, check some of these out. Comment with your top 5 and talk about whose top 5 was the worst or the best or whatever.
Rue's pissed.
He's annoyed.
Pissed.
He was really waiting for something big, and you hit him with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, you can suck it.
This Is the End and Beetlejuice on your fucking top 5.
Yeah, baby.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Frontline Fiesta, we love you. Thank you. Like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube and Spotify, whatever. Thanks, everyone.
Go check out Beetlejuice.
Oh, check out Beetlejuice.
Make sure you go see Beetlejuice. It's your favorite Halloween movie.
Yeah.
God, fuck you.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this week. We are Pretty Much Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.